Hello everyone, welcome back to another reaction video. Thank you all to the new subscribers. Thank you all for showing your support by liking the videos, commenting, and sharing the videos as well. If you are new to the channel and you are enjoying the content, please make sure you hit the subscribe button. And if you are subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. OneLove now has memberships available. As of right now, there are 2 tiers you can sign up for. The first tier is called the OneLove Fan. The perks that you will receive are loyalty badges that set you apart from the rest in the comments. You will also be able to use custom emojis as well as priority replies to comments. The second tier is called the Lovely Crew. The perks that you will receive here are the loyalty badges, custom emojis, priority reply to comments, member shoutouts, and early access to new videos. More perks will be added down the road. If you are interested in joining the membership, please feel free to hit the join button. So we're going to be covering a couple of lives in this video. I do want to touch bases on a live that Olivia did prior to the live where she showed herself driving to pick up the kids at their school. And now that I've seen this live, more so the end part, because this was a almost 4-hour live that this girl did. But luckily, the information that I needed was towards the end of this live. So I was able to grab the information that I needed, and with me having this new information, I do tend to look at the situation differently. So let's get into it.
Sooner, because I got rid of like so much shit already. Like, just got rid of it. Okay, we'll do that. I'll figure it out this week. Hold on, guys. I'll figure it out this week.
So as y'all can hear, she receives a phone call, and this was at the 3-hour 10-minute and 57 timestamp mark when she received this phone call. Now, it started out where she's smiling, but then as you watch, she will continue to become annoyed. Now, at this particular time when she's having this conversation over the phone, I know she's not talking to any of her children. I know she's not talking to Jerrod. So that leads me to believe that she's possibly speaking to her mother. Now, someone did say in my comments under the most recent video I posted that her mother told her in the chats to get off. I did not see her mother in the chats. It's possible she could have deleted her mother, or her mother deleted her, telling her to get off the live to go pick them up. But I was looking in the chats and I did not see her mother in there. So I watched this and I was looking at the fact that at the 3-hour 20-minute timestamp mark, Olivia says that it's 4 o'clock. She says it's 4, and then she was like 4:05. So right here, when she receives the phone call, she received the phone call at 3:50. If I'm basing the timeline accordingly to when Olivia said it was 4 o'clock, 4:05, when she received this phone call, it was 3:50. And she got off the phone around 3:56 p.m. Now, during this phone call, you can kind of see her mouthing to whoever she's speaking with. She said, okay. And she put the phone down and she started texting. Now, this was around 3:54 when she started texting. Now, this kind of matches up to what she said in the last video. She was reading off the text messages to show her proof that she was trying to communicate via the app to Jerrod, asking Jerrod if he was still going to meet her at the meetup spot. This is what she said. She texted him at 3:54 p.m. So this matches up to this timeline. So at 3:54 p.m., it's seeming like her mother called, her mother told her to text Jerrod. She said, okay, so you can see her texting. And then after she gets done texting, she puts the phone back up to her ear and she's still communicating with her mother. I believe that's who she's talking to. And so this is pretty much what it's giving to me, that this is how this pretty much played out. So I'm going to go ahead and move it along to where she's actually starting to speak again. So if you didn't hear what she said right here, you may need to rewind it back. But this is when she says right here, 4 o'clock, 4:05.
Why do my lips look like that? Ew. Oh my god. Hang up, Liv? No. I want an answer. Oh! No, I'm calling, I don't even want to say his disgusting name. I'm calling the guy for my 3 kids. That's who I'm calling. I'm trying to get, I know he's not going to answer because he can't answer the phone because he just can't. So I'm trying to get him to see, like when you call on the app, it opens up the app because I need him to look at the messages that I'm writing in the app. I won't get a response, but I'm hoping that I'll get a response because I want to know if he's bringing the kids over there. You know, so I don't drive up there for nothing because I have to go get AJ early and drive all the way over there. And I want to make sure he's going. Like he's bringing them or somebody's bringing them. Whoever the fuck is bringing them. But these are the games that he plays because he's 5 years old.
So I'm leaving all of this in so you guys can see what led up to her doing the live where she was driving in the car headed to the kids' school. So at this point, when she's calling, texting right here, it's after 4 o'clock. So it's between 4 o'clock to about 4:10 p.m. at this point. And this is what she was showing in her screenshots in the last video that I provided for y'all. I tried to get as close to the screenshots as possible, but because when she was showing the phone up to the camera, it wasn't like a clear shot of the images, so it made it blurry. So you really couldn't see what the communication was. But when she was scrolling in that last video, you could see there was a lot of missed calls. This is what you're seeing now. So she's literally calling Jerrod back to back to back to back to back, and he's not responding. She's texting, she's calling, she's back to texting. So this is what she was showing in the video that I covered yesterday. So this is allowing y'all to kind of see the backstory of actually what transpired.
Could you imagine? This is like just say yes or no in the app. You child. This is like ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. Okay. Is he gonna look at it or what? Like, I know this is annoying to have your phone keep ringing. Like, to me, this shit would get on my nerves. So I would just answer the question. You know what I mean? I would just answer the question to have the person stop calling me. Like, isn't that the logical way to think about it? That's what I would do.
So I know some people were commenting in the last video, they didn't understand why I was side-eyeing Jerrod. My reasoning for saying that is because from a legal standpoint, I'm just going off of the fact that the app is supposed to be used to communicate with each other regarding the children. And I'm not sitting here saying that Olivia deserves to be accommodated. I'm not sitting here saying that Olivia should have all her rights, especially looking at how she has moved with these kids. I'm even not even saying that Jerrod doesn't have a right to feel as if he needs to protect his children in not allowing Olivia to just do whatever she wants and be in and out of their life like that, because that is very detrimental to a child. I 1000% agree with all of y'all. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just solely saying if Olivia has to abide by the court, whatever was written in stone for her to abide by, I'm just saying Jerrod should do the same. Now, if his position is, I no longer want my children to be with this woman, cool. Do what you gotta do, behind the scenes, to get that revisited in court so that you're not over there looking like you're doing something that you're not supposed to do. If you're looking at it from the standpoint of, I'm not going to sit here and let this woman, pick my kids up when she already done let them be at the school for X amount of time. If that was his position, cool. I'm not mad at that. My position was, if you're supposed to communicate through the app and she's trying to communicate to you, she doesn't know if you're going to meet her at the pickup spot. What was the big deal in him just texting her and saying, I'm not going to meet you at the pickup spot? If you want to see the kids, you get them on Thursday and you drop them off back at school on Monday. Follow the court order. That's the only thing I'm saying. I'm not saying he doesn't have a right to feel what he feels. I'm definitely not saying he doesn't have a right to want to protect his children, especially when we saw this woman leave her children the way she did and didn't make it a point to see them, call them, all of that. I get it. But if he is supposed to communicate with her in that app, he should communicate with her in that app. Even if it's to the point of saying, I'm not going to meet you at the pickup spot. That's all he had to say. So that was the only point that I was making. He has every right to do what he feels is going to be in the best interest of those children. But he needs to get that revisited in court so that whatever he is doing on his end is not compromising what the court order says for him to do. That is the only place I was coming from.
It's probably super hot outside too. Call him from the Text Now app. No. I call him from this app because I don't have his phone number. It is so exhausting, baby. It is so mentally and emotionally exhausting. You guys have no idea. I have no idea. This is so pathetic. I'm so tired. He's probably watching my live. Girl, he probably is. That's my whole point. Then just answer the text. Just say yes or no. Yes or no. But it's like he wants me to keep calling him and calling him and calling him. It's like, ew. And then I don't have a fucking choice. I have to keep calling. It's so fucking crazy, this shit I have to deal with. Anything could happen. Girl, he don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck. He does not care. If something were to happen, he doesn't even think I should be able to know. Like, if something happened to the kids, I wouldn't even know. He wouldn't tell me. I would have no idea.
Olivia, do you not hear the words that come out of your mouth? You left those children behind for 3 months. And you, out of your own mouth, said you did not speak to them for 2 months. You had no idea what was going on with your kids during that time. Anything could have happened to your kids during those whole 2 months. You decided you wasn't going to contact your children. They could have been sick. They could have been in the hospital. They could have injured themselves. You would not have known because you did not call them. Like, girl, are you for real?
This is the type of person I'm dealing with. Mm-mm. He's deranged. Let me block you. No, I don't know that law, Jay. I'll look into it though. I sure will. No, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to document it as well. And I hope he is watching. And when I get to the meeting place tonight, I'm going to be taking pictures of the meeting place, that I'm there. I'm going to take pictures of the time, everything. Yeah, except my car is not working the best right now, so I can't drive all the way to their school right now. So if I can't drive to their school, we have another meeting place, and he's supposed to meet me there. I do have a right to pick them up at school, but my car is not working at the moment. So I told him like weeks ago, I was going to pick them up today from the meeting place. And he never acknowledged that.
So here's my thing. And I know many of you shared this same sentiment. If you're saying that you kept contacting Jerrod, you was texting him. You said you started texting him August 6th. You text him again, I believe you said on August 14th, letting him know you was coming down to Texas to get them on Friday, September 5th. And you made it a point to say you wanted to meet up at the meeting spot. You arrived in Texas. You're back at your Texas apartment. You're texting him, still communicating to him that you want to meet up Friday, September 5th at the meeting spot. And today, we see you calling, you're texting, and you're saying right here that he's not responding. You just want to know, yes or no, if you're going to meet up at the meeting spot. If you claim to know Jerrod like the back of your hand, you claim to know his games, you know he plays a lot of games, you suspect that he's trying to set you up and do this, do that. If you have all of this inside intel when it comes to Jerrod and how he moves, why would you still be sitting here after 4:10 p.m. and not already at the school? That's what's not making sense to me. I don't care if you're set on meeting at this meeting spot. If you know that Jerrod plays games, according to you, he plays a lot of games. And he plays with you when it comes to your kids. If this is true, why wouldn't you use common sense to say, you know what? I'm not fit to let nobody play around with me. I haven't seen my kids. I want to see my kids. And I'm going to make sure nothing gets in the way of me seeing my kids. Why wouldn't you, Olivia, already beat up at that school, even if you felt it was a great possibility your car wasn't going to make it. You telling me you didn't have enough money to call an Uber to drive you up to that school to make sure that you could pick your kids up? Like, it's not making sense. Like, you knew Friday was the date, correct? You've been planning Friday ever since August 6th, according to you. You telling me you couldn't have already worked out where you had a rental car for the weekend? You couldn't have already made it to where you gave the down payment for a rental? You could have picked the car up on Thursday, had the car already sitting in your parking lot, ready to go so you could be there first thing to pick your children up for school, and have that rental car where you can make sure you could take them back to school Monday morning. I mean, you could have actually got the rental on Wednesday and made sure you was able to pick them up Thursday, which is your court order. You can't sit here and tell me you don't have the money, because you racked up a lot of money, Olivia. Like, let's be for real. You racked up a lot of money during your homeless scandal. So, if you really wanted your children, if you really missed your children, if you really are aware of the games that you say Jerrod plays, why wouldn't you be about business and handle your business in a way to ensure that nothing could have stood in the way of you getting your kids Thursday after they got out of school? It's just not adding up, Olivia.
So he knows. He definitely knows. And he has seen that text weeks ago that I was picking them up today on the 5th at the location, at the time. And he won't even open the app. That's funny. He's declining the calls, but he won't even open the app. Like, he won't go into the app because it says when he goes into the app. He won't go into it because he's trying to act like he doesn't see what's happening. So sad. Well, I'll definitely look into that law, and I'll give, my lawyer will probably know all about that law if it is in effect, for sure, because he's been doing this. This is not new.
So someone in the comments had told her that there was allegedly a new law that Texas has on their books where if the other parent is not being able to see the children or to see their child because of the parent who has custody is not allowing them to see them, then the court will award the other parent custody of the children. This is what she's referring to. So this is what I found when I looked this up. It says, actually, this is true, that Texas has implemented changes to its child custody laws, often called a three strikes law, for visitation effective in September of 2025. If a parent is held in contempt of court 3 times for denying court-ordered visitation, the court may remove that parent as the custodial parent and award full custody to the other parent, as the goal is to ensure children have access to both parents. Now, although this is definitely a new law that Texas has implemented for September of this year, September 2025, where I feel that it doesn't kind of go along with this particular situation is the fact that Olivia is intentionally not following her visitation rights, meaning she has the rights to get her children from school on Thursday and return them back on Monday. She's not doing that. Olivia has intentionally moved out of the state that they resided in. So, and we also know that she gave up her time with them this summer. So, in that regard, it's like, although the person in the comments did give some credible information, it doesn't really apply to Olivia's situation, because Jerrod is not necessarily withholding Olivia's visitation rights. Olivia is doing that all by herself. And Olivia is trying to modify her visitation rights. And with that being said, this doesn't really apply.
Oh, the judge will know everything this time around. He's going to know that I get to see my kids. No, shit, he brings them straight to my front door if I'm sleeping with him. And that's what happened. That's one of the couple times he did. You guys have no idea, man. I swear. There's so much I haven't even told you. He brought them here one time, and I was trying not to fuck with him anymore. It was like during the time we were fucking around. And I asked him because I was on my way to the meeting place. He called me, and he was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to be there for like another hour because I'm at work. And I said, okay, that's fine. Can you just bring him to my house? Because I have the babies, and I'm not going to sit there and wait for you for an hour. So he's like, yeah, I'll bring him to your house. So I'm here. He brings the kids. I'm telling you, it was no problem when I'm sleeping with him. None at all. It was the easiest. It was so easy getting along with him when I was sleeping with him. It's so sad. So sad. And I went outside because I didn't want to. I was just like, okay, thanks for dropping the kids off. He parked right here and right in front of my fucking door. And then he was like, come outside. Oh, no. Christian, or one of the kids said, Daddy wants to talk to you outside. So I already knew that was going to happen. I went outside, and I was just trying to be standoff because while we were fucking around, I kept trying to, like, end it. Like, end the fucking around, you know, and just be cool and stop fucking around. But anyway, he came over, and he's like, hey, I have a bottle. And he had a bottle of Hennessy. He's like, take a shot with me. And I'm like, no. I'm not supposed to drink. I have the kids. I don't want to drink. And I wasn't drinking at that point. He's like, come on, take a shot with me. He had a cup and everything. I'm like, mm-mm. And anyway, we were just standing out there talking, and Christian kept walking by with his little friend, and my kids are so happy. Like, they're so happy when they see us talking and getting along. Like, I see it in them, you know. Anyway, then at the end of the conversation, he's like, can I use the bathroom? And I'm like, I guess. What am I going to say, no? So he came in. I feel so bad. Because it was Christian that kept walking around outside. Robyn and Ryan were in the house with the babies. And when I came in, I swear Robyn was like, mm-mm. She never liked what was going on. And it's because she already knew. She knows how he is, and she knows how he treats me like shit. And oh, my baby's so smart. Anyway, she looked at me and she's like, anyway, he went in this restroom, he went to the bathroom, and there was AJ following him. And anyway, he went to the restroom. I was in my room for some reason, and he comes into my room, he shuts the door. Anyway, oh God, guys, we had sex in my bathroom. But you see what I mean? It's like every single time there was like, it's like it's not like he made me sleep with him, but it's like he's very aggressive, and he's very like, it's just like, whatever, bro. But it was just so easy. Everything was so easy when I was doing what he wanted me to do.
I want y'all to keep in mind that as she's telling this story, it's around 4:15, 4:20ish. Okay? And she said out of her own mouth, when she did the video showing her screenshots and her proof that she was trying to get her children on Friday, this past Friday, this is what she said. She said that he texted her and said, why would I be meeting you anywhere when you're supposed to get the kids from school? It's 4 o'clock. I'm at work. So she failed to mention in this live that Jerrod had already called, or not called, but had texted her back. This is what she said she received in text message. She said, again, why would I be meeting you anywhere when you're supposed to get the kids from school? It's 4 o'clock. So if Jerrod is texting you, letting you know it's 4 o'clock, why are you still trying to make it seem like Jerrod is not responding back to your text messages because you're trying to figure out if he's going to meet you at the pickup spot? He already answered you. Again, he said, why would I be meeting you anywhere when you're supposed to get the kids from school? So, because I didn't see this live, now it makes more sense. Jerrod had already let you know that he was not going to meet you anywhere else. He wasn't meeting you at the pickup spot. The only place you were supposed to go where it came to you getting your children was you picking them up at the school, not him bringing the kids to you at the pickup spot. And what's even more wild is the fact that Olivia is literally sitting on this internet talking about another escapade that her and Jerrod had, and y'all did this while the children were still there. I mean, gross. But it's the fact that you're even talking about this And your children are pretty much already, I'm assuming at this point, have already been picked up because it's almost 4:30 at this point. And you're sitting here talking about when you and Jerrod had hooked up. Like, girl,
It's just crazy, bro. You can literally get a budget plan for child support. It's guys out here paying, I know, $10 a month. Oh, I am going to. I'm going to. They're going to have no fucking choice this time. So sure. If I can't play it, if I can't play it. If I can't pay it, I can't pay it. So you're going to work with me or you're not going to get shit. That's just the way it goes. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I can't speak another language. So, or he can just give me the kids 50% of the time and half of the weight will be off of him. But he doesn't want to do that. So, yeah, right. Girl, please get a job. Girl, please suck a dick. Fuck. No, I'm not getting a job. I'm not getting a job. I'm going back to school. And I'm going back to school when I feel like it's right to go back to school. When Kailani can get into a daycare, I'll be going back to school. I'm not leaving my infant with strangers because you guys think I should get a job. Fuck y'all. Respectfully. Fuck I look like. If something happens to my baby, then what? No. I leave my kids at daycare when they, after the age of 2. Yeah, and childcare is so expensive. What the fuck? Like, I can't even afford that shit right now. What the fuck? Are you dumb? You stupid bitch? The fuck? Fuck him. But he's not gonna keep getting away with this. Because, like I keep saying, this is all it's been about for me since the jump. I don't care if I talk shit on the internet. I don't care what I do. I don't care. Because if that's the case, then when I was supposedly keeping his kids away from him because of my personal feelings against him, that's justified, right? Because that's exactly what he's doing. He's keeping my kids away from me because of his own personal feelings. Right? That's what people say, right? Because I talk shit on the internet or whatever. That has nothing to do with the kids and I. Oh well, if you don't like that, too bad. You should have picked another baby mama. You didn't. Too bad. Just like, too bad for me. I gotta deal with you. So, it is what it is. But, you know, it's okay. Okay, so he's going into the app, but he's not clicking on the messages. Okay, so he's doing that purposely. So I'm wondering, I just don't want to go to the, I don't want to go to his house, bro. I don't feel like doing all of that. How hot is it outside? Let me see. Ooh, it's hot as fuck. Oh, shit, bro. I know, they won't even answer if I go to the house. No, they won't answer. Of course they won't answer.
I mean, is that even allowed for her to go to their house? I mean, I know she said Jerrod was able to drop the kids off to her house, but I'm assuming he did that outside of what the arrangement was for them to do, because if there is a pickup spot that was acknowledged in the court order, and I say if very strongly because I never saw the court order, but I'm just saying hypothetically, if there was a clause in their court order where if she's not able to pick them up from school, they had a designated meetup spot. If that was the case, then why would she think it would be okay to go to their home? Because that would be in the clause as another designated pickup spot. And so if their home wasn't listed, I'm assuming you're not supposed to go to their house.
In Texas, he does not have to work with you to pick up today when court order specifically says Thursday pick up at school. You know this. Okay, so let's say in your retarded ass mind that was the case, right? Let's just say, because you know everything. If that was the case, he's still an evil motherfucker, and the judge will still see that he is keeping my kids from me purposely. Let's get that understood. Okay? Because regardless if he technicality has to, or technicality wants to, or whatever the fuck, he's still doing it. Okay? He knows I can't get there. He knows that I tried to arrange another meeting spot. Because believe it or not, they'll see this as alienation, because that's exactly what it is. I actually know DFW Family Court. Thanks. Okay, cool. That's really cool for you. I'm happy. Have you seen my court order? Have you seen my specific court order in full? And that's okay. That's all right. If that's really what it says and how it is, that's okay. I don't care what the courts say, and I don't really care about any of this. I care about what intentions we all have here. No, you haven't seen mine. I don't know who you are, and you don't know who I am. So, have a good day.
And that's exactly the problem, Olivia. For you to say, I don't care what the court say, that is why you're in the position you're in. You did not care what the court said from the very jump. Because the moment they gave Jerrod custody of those kids, you completely refused to do anything that the court said. You refused to comply with what they told you needed to do if you wanted to get your children back. You refused to comply with the attorneys that you had because you did not want to, you didn't want to cooperate. You did not want to comply when it comes to child support, which is why now the court had to step in and summons you to court. This is why things keep escalating for you, because you don't care. You keep making the situation worse for yourself because you have too much pride and too much ego. And in your mind, you feel like Jerrod and Nisha won. Therefore, you don't want to hear nothing that the judge has to say because you feel the judge sided with them and not with you. So you have it out for the judge. You have it out for the court system. Everybody's against you. But you can't seem to look at the fact that it's because of you, Olivia, why things have escalated to the point that it has.
Anyway, so like I said, regardless, oh shit. But the judge might also see that you're purposely not paying your child support. Of course I'm purposely not paying it because I don't have it. How do I pay it if I don't have it, baby? What do you want me to do? You want me to rip my skin off and sell it so I can pay my child support? It doesn't work that way, baby. Yeah, the GoFundMe's fixed. It is. Yeah, it is based on my income. And they made a mistake basing it off of an income of 0. So, like I said, you guys don't worry about it too much. You guys won't be in the courtroom. You guys won't be there on the 30th, you know? And regardless, I know that I'm going to come out on top because my intentions are pure. My intentions are totally, totally pure.
The fact that you said all of this and you struggle to even say it with a straight face says a lot. You wouldn't know purity if it was staring you in your face, Olivia. Your intentions are not pure. Because if it was truly about your children this whole time, Olivia, your movement, your actions, how you carried yourself this whole time, it would actually make sense. It would show up in the way you went about this whole situation. It's only showing the opposite. It's showing that it's really not about the kids at all. It's about you winning. It's about you feeling as if you came on top. I find this to be extremely sad because you just continue to not get it.
I have no bad intentions here. I'm just trying to see my kids. Everybody wants to keep playing games with me. Who is this that called me? Hi, baby. Yeah, I'm picking you up at the meeting spot.
So now this is when Robyn calls. And she's telling Robyn, I'm supposed to pick you up at the meeting spot. Now I want y'all to keep in mind, it's around 4:26 p.m. at this point. And I'm getting that time based off of when she said it was 4 o'clock, 4:05. That would put it around 4:26 right now when she gets this call. Now, I want y'all to also keep in mind, she's telling this little girl that I'm supposed to meet you at the pickup spot, but she had already got a text message from Jerrod, and Jerrod told her, I never told you that I was going to meet you anywhere. You are supposed to pick them up at the school. It's already 4 o'clock. I'm at work. So Jerrod was assuming that she was going to pick them up from school because he's letting her know it's 4 o'clock. I'm at work. So you see her at this point jumping up to get ready to leave. And that's when we see her in the live driving to the school. Now, it's not making sense to me because she also said in that video when she was showing the screenshots, he said at 4:03. And then I'm reading the transcript. She said he said at 4:03, my daughter had called me already by this point. She called me and she told me, Mommy, where are you? I said, baby, I had no idea I was supposed to pick you up from school. Your dad said nothing to me, baby. I told him where we were meeting and that was understood. And she said, Mommy, please come right now. You know, if he picks me up, I'm not going to be able to see you. So, first off, you said at 4:03, you received a text message from Jerrod. And that was when she said in that text message, he told her, why would I be meeting you anywhere when you're supposed to get the kids from school? It's 4 o'clock, I'm at work. She got this text message at 4:03, okay? She then says, my daughter had called me already by this point. So Olivia is making it seem like Robyn had already called her prior to the text message, which also doesn't make sense because if Robyn had already called you before 4 o'clock, why was you still sitting on this live almost to 4:30? So are you saying that Robyn called you twice? It's not making sense because even if Robyn called you prior to you getting this text message where Jerrod told you he wasn't going to be meeting you anywhere, why would you tell your daughter that you were supposed to be picking them up from the meeting spot and that it was understood, that their father understood that? So it's a lot of different things that she's saying that's not adding up. But when you see her get up after that phone call, it was almost 4:30 at this point. So if it took you an hour to get to the school, that would put you getting to the school at 5:30. Maybe later. Because some people said in the comments the traffic on Fridays going from where you live to where the school is, it probably would have been even later. So why would you think the kids would still be at school past 5:30? That doesn't even make sense. The whole situation just don't make sense to me. But now that I have this piece right here, it is really giving that Olivia wasn't being fully honest. And she wasn't being honest about the timeline. She wasn't being honest about the fact that Jerrod did let her know that he wasn't going to meet her anywhere. It's just seeming like, I know some of y'all keep saying, OneLove, you keep giving her grace. Stop giving her grace. Y'all, I'm trying to stay saved. That's how I stay saved. Y'all not keeping that component into perspective. I can't be unfair in situations. I have to give the benefit of the doubt. But I think where I keep finding myself in this situation, I keep finding myself completely like amazed that a human being can do the things that this woman does. Like, I know that there are people out here that are very, very mentally unstable, even to the point where they're like either borderline crazy or they have completely crossed over that line of being crazy. And I don't say that to be spiteful or mean, but it's really starting to give the vibe of a thin line between love and hate. Y'all remember that movie with Martin Lawrence and Lynn Whitfield? And y'all saw how far Lynn Whitfield would go in her character, where, to make it seem like Martin was abusing her, like she literally was hitting herself up or beating herself up or knocking herself in the head. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's starting to give that. Because it's like, I didn't have like a privileged life growing up. I definitely had some hard times. But looking at what I see go on in this woman and how I've never seen a woman act out in the way that she does and lie as much as she does and do like bizarre things that leans to the side of mentally unstable, like I'm starting to feel like maybe I was a little bit too sheltered growing up, because I never thought that people could be like this. So y'all may be looking at me like, OneLove, how is it that you don't see this or you don't see that? I just wasn't around it. I didn't know this existed. I thought this was just in the movies. But to full-fledged see this as I'm reacting to this woman and I'm watching her life play out, it's like, oh my gosh. Like, I cannot believe the level of insanity that I continue to witness from this woman. Of course, because I've never seen it in person, I've never been around it, I'm not going to automatically go there in my mind and think this woman would be lying about something like the things I'm seeing she is lying about. So y'all can't sit here and fault me and, to read a comment from somebody saying that I was slow. Like, girl, bye. Like, I think it's the craziest thing for people who want to, try to throw an insult my way because you don't like the fact that I'm not seeing something the way that you see it. But in other videos, you're pretty much like celebrating me and, you're agreeing with me. Like, it's the weirdest thing. And I'm just like, look, I don't have a problem with people disagreeing. But do you not know how to disagree respectfully? Like, I'm not sitting here disrespecting y'all. Don't come in my chats and disrespect me because your comment will be deleted. But if you disagree, be respectful. I mean, y'all can scroll through all my comments and y'all will see a lot of people that disagree and their comments are still up. It's how you disagree. Don't just downright just be disrespectful because it's not warranted. I've said many times, we're not going to agree with every single thing. That's life. I mean, I don't care what type of relationship you're in. If it's your husband, your wife, your mother, your father, your siblings, your cousin, your nephew, your children, y'all are not going to agree with every single thing. That's just not going to happen. So if you can just get past that part and just allow me to just state my opinion as I see it, because a lot of the things, that I'm starting to see with this woman, yeah, y'all may have already said it a year ago, a few months ago, but okay, I'm getting there. I'm seeing it for myself. Like, it's all about love over here. Hence, my channel is OneLove. It's about, fellowship. It's about community. It's about just talking about some real stuff over here. You know what I mean? And yeah, we do deep dives on these women. And it's just not necessary to be ugly, like, for real. It's really not necessary because that's not the energy that I give over here. It's not hard to cut somebody out, drag somebody for filth. Like, if I chose to be that way, I can definitely do that. Been there, done that, don't want to go back. So I go about things the way I choose to go about it, and I try to be respectful. I try to be respectful to everybody. But like I said before, please do not confuse meekness with weakness, okay? So with that being said, I know I went on a little rant, but we're going to move on, and there's some things that I wanted to speak on when it comes to what I've been seeing with my Jazzy life. I haven't really just been watching a lot of her videos here lately because it's just been so much going on with Liv's life. That's kind of where I've been. But there were some things that I did see over on my Jazzy life that I did want to speak on, so let's go ahead and jump right in.
I've been trying to do some stuff. But at this moment, like, this is what I need to. And I'm just like, on my end, I'm doing my part. But if anyone can donate, I appreciate it. Like, I'm going to DoorDash all day, go to Killen's game, and then DoorDash all night. do that for the next couple of days. I do get sick of begging, but I'm here begging. You're right, people do have their own bills, but I'm not forcing you, I'm not holding something to your head saying you need to help me. If you want to help, then I appreciate it. Like, that's the thing. If you want to help, I appreciate it. I'm not saying you need to do this. Like, of course people got their own bills. Just need help paying my deposit so that we don't lose our place. I have to pay about 1/8. And anything helps. Donating $1 helps.
Wow. I don't understand. I don't understand why this is becoming a normal thing for people to come on the internet and ask for money. Just because a person has a platform to do this doesn't mean you should. Because I've spoken on this before. I spoke on this during the time when Jasmine was getting help with furniture for her other place. I said that, people are going to feel compelled to want to help. And just because you may have a need doesn't mean you have to ask. And I definitely feel like for this to be a conversation that Jasmine chose to have right on the heels of everybody kind of going through their whiplash, moments of what we just went through with Olivia and how she was scamming the internet for a week, saying that she was homeless and the amount of money she was getting from that scam. When I saw this video, and again, I'm a little behind because I hadn't been really watching her videos, but watching this video now, it's definitely not a good look. And it's like, I'm watching this, and what keeps going through my mind, like, it's too soon. Like, this was too soon. Like, I don't think people were in the headspace to receive another person asking for money. Like, it was too soon because it was so much happening over on Liv's Life channel for this to be something else that's happening in another direction. And I feel like this was another instance of where reading the room should have been put into practice, because it's like, you did not read the room. I don't understand why you felt it was okay to come on here and ask for money. Now, true that you may have really had a need, but coming to YouTube, and I say this to anybody, coming to YouTube cannot keep being the place to go when you run into a financial situation. That's life. We all have situations where we're trying to figure out how we're going to make ends meet, how are we going to handle this situation. And many of us have not been fortunate to always go to an internet to set up a GoFundMe or to put our Cash App on the screen and ask people to donate. Like, when you look at GoFundMe, that was initially set up due to people being in real hardships, like crisis type situations. And I feel people have completely taken advantage of the whole the GoFundMe opportunity for people to get immediate help. And I feel like so many people have, like I said, taken advantage of it. They've abused it. And it's getting to a point where people can't really even give out the kindness of their heart anymore, because people's heartstrings are constantly being pulled in so many different directions. Although you may say, I'm not forcing anyone to help, I'm just asking those who can give, that is what makes this exhausting for a lot of people, Jasmine, because we know you're not forcing anyone to give to you. But when you're constantly asking for help, that's when it becomes too overbearing to take, because it's always a constant need. And I'm not saying your needs are not valid, but it can't always be every time you have a need, you're coming to the internet asking people to help you. Because my question is, where is your family? Where is your mother? Where is your father? Where is your family? Why is it that you can never rely on your family? And I'm not saying that there are not real situations where people can't rely on their family. I completely get that. But if you're saying on one hand that you do have your family that helps you here and there, why is it that when you are in desperate need, you come to the internet for help? That's the part that is not making sense to me, because I feel like that's when your family should show up the most. If you have family that's supporting you, that's when they should be having your back, when you really need it the most. If you're in a financial situation where it's looking like you may get evicted, why isn't your family stepping up? Where is Philip? Where is Chris? These are valid questions, because I don't understand what is the background here. Because again, it can't always be where the people on YouTube have to step in to help and assist when your family is closer to you. Like, they're actually in your real life. Your baby fathers, they are actually in your real life. So why is it that you are not able to reach out to them and have them pitch in and donate to your cause? If you needed $1,000, you telling me your dad couldn't give you 200, Chris couldn't give you 200, 300, Philip couldn't throw a 200 or 300 in there, your mom couldn't throw in the rest, or 100 or 200. Like, I'm not understanding. If you're in these type of situations, why is it that the internet are the ones who's coming to your aid? Because when you had the situation where you was locked up, Philip and Chris, according to you, they were able to pitch in and pay your bail. That's how it should be. So where were they and the rest of your family when it came to this situation? And again, I have questions, because I feel like if you're coming to the internet and you're saying, I have this need, you should automatically assume that people are going to ask these type of questions, and you should already put it out there. Don't leave it to where people are speculating and questioning and trying to figure out what's going on. Like, all of that should be addressed from the very start, because I know I'm not the only one who has these questions. And if I was speaking to Jasmine one-on-one, these would still be my questions. I would want to know, where's your family, and why aren't your family helping you?
I figure this out. I gotta hurry up and figure this out. And seeing some of the comments on my other video, I literally, so my land, they threw the lease out. Like, once they said, okay, we're gonna let you out, we'll do this, and she was like, you should be able to get majority of your deposit back, because, you know, as long as you have the house clean, da da da. And then saying I had to be out by the 1st or the 3rd, so that I don't have to pay August rent. I broke my back getting out that bitch, right? Cleaning in the dark, doing everything. Like I said, that's probably the cleanest I ever left them in the fucking house, because there was nothing in there at all. Hell, I left them with some extra stuff, meaning like the curtains. And that's why I told her, I said I left, because they had curtains at first, but they're like regular old ones. So I said I had automatic curtains installed with thermal control, and I also, because it didn't come with the microwave, so I said y'all could have the microwave as well. And she was like, oh, okay, thank you, I appreciate, you know, I'm just, and it's like, and then it was just like, oh, well, you're only going to get back this because of this, we're calculating this, we're calculating that. And I'm just like, and I'm calculating it, and it's still not adding up. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Oh, well, we decided instead we're going to also take August rent, even though you already gave us the keys and stuff and yada, yada, yada. We're going to just take that too. Bitch, I don't want to say bitch, but I was just like, what? And then, like, I was relying on that, bro, because like I wouldn't have did all that shit. I would have been trying to figure my own way out with shit. And I did all that only to get $300 back, and I have to pay. It's like $1,000 and something for the deposit, but like I'm only asking for just $1,000, like help with $1,000, because it's really like 1,000, what, 800 and something, and I already got. I'm saying it because I already have 300. That's my we only get paid once a month, and that's why I was like, fuck, I already paid the rent. Now I got to come up with it. Because maybe I don't even have that. And I had to pay 2 deposits. So I already paid one. Now I got to pay the second one. And that was another thing that I got asked in my video. How did you move in without having to pay a deposit? I paid 1 deposit. And we agreed on me paying the other one later on.
So Jasmine said that she needed $1,000. But she said that it was around $1,800 total, but they gave her back $300, so that was $1,500 she needed, but she was only asking the people for $1,000. What it's looking like to me, and I think I've made reference to this a few videos back, it just seems to me it's an issue of not managing her money properly. Because if you're only getting paid one time a month, you're really going to have to make sure you're managing your money properly. Like, for real. Because most people don't get paid only one time a month. Most people are getting paid weekly, bi-weekly. But to be getting paid once a month, you really got to have all your ducks in a row. Like, I'm talking spreadsheet, knowing to the T how much your bills are. But it definitely sounds to me like these landlords took advantage of you, Jasmine, because they probably felt they could. Because they knew that your credit wasn't the greatest, and they knew you was trying to leave, so they probably felt they could get over. And honestly, I feel like you could have took this to small claims if you really wanted your deposit, because if they agreed to giving you your deposit back, if you was out by the third and you did make sure the home was clean and there wasn't any issues, they would have to abide by that and not charge you for August rent. Especially if you had that conversation in writing, they would not be able to do that. So again, it definitely seems like they took advantage because they felt they could take advantage. But if you really wanted to get your deposit back, you could have took them to small claims.
Like I said at the beginning of this live, I'm not forcing you. I'm not literally forcing anybody to do anything. Like, I'm reading out comments, you're like, oh, we paid this, we paid that. That's understandable. I'm not. Maybe this message isn't pertaining to you. I'm not reaching out to you because that you paid this. You might not have no money. Like I said, anybody donate, you could donate a fucking dollar, but you may not have it, right? Then okay. Like, there's no need to sit here and write a whole paragraph. I paid my mortgage. I paid this. You paid it. Okay. You don't have it. You don't have to explain yourself. What's understood don't need an explanation. Girl, if you don't, then keep it pushing. And this message isn't for you. That's the point. $5 times 261 viewers will solve the problem. Everybody, I mean, if anyone, I don't know, just choosing the chat. I don't know, y'all. If everybody could send $5. Where's the baby daddy? Not here. Nobody's here. It's just me and my kids. Like, I don't know, man. If anyone could donate $5, everyone, that can't be. I don't know. I didn't see it. So I'm not lying. I'm telling y'all the truth. I'm coming here telling y'all the truth. I ain't saying that I'm pregnant, or I'm in a bind right now. If anyone is new here, it takes a lot for me to move. I always got to put at least two to three deposits down sometimes. And this place was real lenient with me. But shit, now they we want that rest of that money. So if everybody can donate $5, I would truly appreciate it. Because she said, we had 200 and something people.
Yeah, this was just not a good look. It really wasn't a good look, Jasmine. I mean, you're getting upset at the fact that somebody asked you where are their fathers. And I think that was a valid question, because I just had that question. Where are the fathers? I mean, you're housing their children, so why wouldn't people question you about where's Philip or where's Chris? You're taking care of their children. And if you're on the street, their children going to be on the street. So why wouldn't they make sure that you have a roof over your head? And I don't understand why you got an attitude about that, because again, you can't think it's okay to come on here and ask people for money and they're not supposed to ask you any questions. They're not supposed to, be able to understand the situation fully before they want to donate to your cause. The fact that you didn't even offer up an explanation prior to you asking for the money, like, that's a problem. I mean, you also got upset at the fact that people said, they just paid their mortgage. Like, if you truly understand that people have lives, a lot of the women that are watching you, they have their own families, they have their own children, they're trying to maintain their own bills. If you truly understand that, why keep putting your supporters in a situation where they have to try to figure out how to do what they need to do to take care of their families and still some kind of way give you something to help you take care of yours? Like, honestly, Jasmine, you gotta see that's a problem. It's not cool. And I've said this before, it's not cool to take advantage of the support that you have, because yes, your supporters are going to be there for you. They want to see you grow. They want to see you elevate. They want to see you succeed in life. They want to see you, just get beyond the position that you're in now. They want to actually see you win. They're your supporters. But to keep putting your supporters in a situation where you're constantly asking for them to help in this capacity, help in that capacity, you don't think at some point that's going to become draining even to your diehard supporters? You don't think to some degree, even though there are people who genuinely love and care about you, that at some point they're going to become tired and exhausted? Like, Jasmine, you have to see that. And that's the position that I'm coming from. You cannot keep depending on people. You got to get to a point where you can just figure this out on your own, because this is a real question I have. If you did not have YouTube and you was in this situation, how would you have got the $1,000, Jasmine? Real question. If you didn't have YouTube, if you didn't have social media, and you was in the processes of getting evicted, if you didn't come up with this amount of money that you needed by the 8th, what would you do? That is what you need to always put in the forefront before you ask YouTube for money or for help. Because there's going to come a time where it's not going to be a thing for you to be able to come on here and ask for help. So if you know that you would have had to figure it out if there wasn't a YouTube, that is what the people are saying. You got to get to a point, Jasmine, where you're not running to the internet for help, but actually trying to figure this out on your own.
When I was asleep, I'm not asleep. When I got off the live last night, I was in the bed. Literally, I did apply for a couple assistants. One of them, it says it takes a while for them to call back. And the other one got denied because they said I wasn't within the limits. And the other one only helps with utilities. Thank you. Moving is very expensive. It's very, very expensive. And that's another reason why I threw so much shit away. I threw stuff away. I was selling stuff. People were like, oh, you have no furniture. Bitch, I needed to sell stuff to move. Like, I had to figure shit out. No, I've never done a GoFundMe, but I did hear that they take a percentage out of it. So it's no point. And that's why I don't even say, that's why I'm asking, like, for just $5 from everybody. Not even super chats. Like, fuck all that. Because everybody else take a percentage. I said $1, but shit, $5. Someone said they calculated and said $5 would be fine to get me there. I would have pawned that chain you have if you're really that desperate. This chain? Are you fucking serious? I got it from TikTok shop. What? Patrice, you can do it to my What is it called, y'all? PayPal. Do you have PayPal?
No ma'am. No ma'am. Not the PayPal. Jasmine, what are you doing? Why? Why are you doing this? Like, Jasmine, I have never seen you ask for money and offer up your PayPal. Now, maybe I'm late in the game and this has been a thing for a minute now, but when I've heard you ask for help financially, it's always you drop your cash app. I've never known you to do PayPal, but this is too soon. Like, Jasmine, surely you saw, because I know you saw what was going on. You spoke on what Olivia was doing over there. I said you should not even be talking about what Olivia is doing over there. Yeah, you see it. Keep it to yourself. But the fact that you saw what Olivia was just doing, having people donate to her Cash App, her PayPal, and then you turn around and do the exact same thing. You're asking people to donate to your Cash App and your PayPal, and you don't feel people were going to be offended by this? You didn't think people were going to feel a certain way by this, especially with you doing it so close around the time Olivia just got through doing this. Like a week difference. It's like Olivia went one week and here you come the next week. Like, Jasmine, come on now. Like, surely you could read the room. I don't even know. I don't even know how to say this any other way. Like, this is not cool. This is not a good look, Jasmine. Seriously.
Why not just say you want money for your birthday? Because then I'll be lying. That shit's irrelevant for me right now. Then I'll be lying. Like, seriously. I was banking on them to send me my deposit. That's what y'all seemed like. I was breaking my back trying to get that house in order. Somebody was like, oh, you tore up the house. That house, I didn't tear shit up in that house. Like, that house, I kept it good as fuck. And I was banking on, like, not full deposit, but at least almost the 2,000, half of it, right? And they decided to keep August rent after I gave them the keys. But we had already discussed that she said that I didn't have to pay August rent. I just had to pay my past due balance, which was $800 when it came to my rent, right? And because I was late on that part, I was late on $800. And I started calculating shit because she was like, oh, we found cleaners because they want to do a deep clean. Okay. I forgot how much she said it was. I want to say she said it was like 200 and something. And then, even though people came and got all my shit from outside the front, she still paid for a junk removal out of my deposit. I didn't care. And then I forgot what it was. I really feel like it was the lights. I think it was, because it was something that I didn't pay, a bill or something. It wasn't lights. I transferred my lights. Whatever. It was $238. I remember, whatever the fuck it was. And I was like, okay. And after calculating all that, I was like, okay, so I should get close to $2,000 back. I should be good. And I didn't get that. She sent me $300 and said that they decided to, no, let me go back. She said, you will only be able to get back $98. And I said, what the fuck? Like, I'm laughing because it's just like, I'm still thinking about it. And then she was like, well, out of the grace of our heart, we'll send you $300 instead.
Yeah, something don't sound right with that situation, because when you're renting property, whether it's an apartment, a house, a condo, a townhouse, a duplex, what have you, the landlord has to give you an itemized list of what all they deem they will have to take care of after you move out. Whatever things they need to fix, what have you, they have to show an itemized list of what they consider problems or issues that have to be taken care of. They have to show you like an actual bill where they got whatever those issues were taken care of. Like, they have to be able to show you verbatim the amount of your deposit that you're supposed to get back, minus whatever deductions were made from the legitimate bills that they can, show you that they took care of to fix the problems. They can't just say, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're paying this amount of money, and they're not showing you no proof, no type of bills to legitimize why they took your deposit or the amount of money they took from your deposit. They cannot do that. So this is why I said if you really wanted to get your deposit back, you would have to take them to small claims, because it definitely seems like there's a lot of suspicious activity going on over there with those landlords. Either this is what they are used to doing, getting over on people. I don't know if this is their first time and they just are not knowledgeable of what they're supposed to be doing. But it definitely seems like they really took advantage of the situation and they got over on you because they felt like you wouldn't know any different. But a landlord cannot just put a number in their head and say, well, this is how much we had to spend on X, Y, and Z, so therefore we're only going to give you this amount of dollars back from your deposit. Legally, they cannot do that. Now, I don't know what all are the things that they said were problems of the house after you left. I know typically when it comes to you renting, they cannot really charge for carpet because usually when you move, they're supposed to replace the carpet for the next tenant. So they can't come at you with, oh, well, we had to get the carpets clean, because typically that's not even something that holds in court anymore either.
Because we're going to just let you pay for August rent too. And I'm just like, I'm not even living there. I might as well get my keys back. I agree, April. I only read part of your message. She said, I just suggest when you get your taxes, you put it all in savings. Even year around, the same time you have the same financial issues, it is time to learn to. I agree. When I got my taxes, I was playing catch up. I was in a catch up situation. Whenever my channel got demonetized, that fucked me up, or whatever the heck happened. Not demonetized. You gotta remember, whenever my channel got hit, it messed me up. So I was always playing catch up every month. Did you give a notice why she's charging you August rent? I did. And I don't know. I can't even tell you. Because the agreement was you pay the past due balance of your rent, which is $850. No, $850 because that was the late fee, and which is the $50. And she was like, and the words she used was like, you should be able to get Jory your deposit back. And the conversation just started shifting because I was no longer talking to her. I was talking to either her husband or it's other people that was in the group chat. I didn't have it in writing. All we had I have it in text messages. That's it.
Jasmine, if you have it in text message where it's showing that they told you if you are out by the 3rd and you hand over your keys that they were going to give you your deposit, that is having it in writing. It doesn't matter if it's in a text message. It will hold in court. If you took this to claims court and you printed those text message out and also showed it to them on the actual phone where you can see the device, they will take that as valid evidence, because that was a communication that you had. The courts are pretty much up to date with how communication is being done. It's not just being done via email or, faxing something to somebody. Like, the courts honor text messages because they know that is the modernized way of communication. But again, if you have this in writing via text message, it will hold in court, Jasmine. With my background being in accounting, I'm always in the headspace to want to do spreadsheets so I can see where the money is. Because a lot of times people think that they're not making enough money when the problem is they're not managing their money properly, or they're overspending in ways that they don't really realize where their money is going. And oftentimes when you are just swiping your card, you're not really taking into consideration that adds up. My background in accounting falls into tax accounting. I've done tax accounting for many years, and I also have a background in financial accounting. And so I have had years of, dealing with national accounts. And, there's a lot of responsibility that comes with overseeing national accounts. And, my advice to everybody that I come in contact with that, needs help with managing their money, or they know they have an issue with managing their money, I always tell them spreadsheets are your best friend. I love spreadsheets. Spreadsheets will show you everything you need to see. Spreadsheets will help you get on track. Spreadsheets will help you save money. Like, spreadsheets will help you tremendously.
I've been doing better to keep my car clean. But hey y'all, I would have came live yesterday, but I was so tired. I ended up door dashing because, like I said, I'm not gonna just sit at home and just not do something. So I ended up door dashing for a bit. I made $140, I think, and then of course I had to put 20. I put 20 in the card so I could door dash again. Yeah, and I appreciate everyone that did help me out. The thing about me, y'all, if I need help, I'm gonna tell y'all I need help, right? I'm not gonna pop off and be like, oh, I'm homeless, and then all of a sudden I pop off in my apartment. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Bitch, if I need help, I need help. Like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I gotta pay an extra deposit. And someone, I think I answered this already, but they was asking like, how is it that you move without paying for a deposit? I paid a deposit. This is the second deposit. This is the second deposit. I paid the deposit in the rent. You're paying 2 deposits, your credit must be bad. It is. My credit is bad. I've said that multiple times. But if you're new here, I'm not gonna sit here and down you about it.
Again, Jasmine, it doesn't matter if you're not scamming the people. And I feel I'm sure somebody probably said something in the chats, but you did not have to read it out loud. You didn't have to acknowledge it. But it doesn't matter if you're not scamming the people. It really didn't make sense for you to compare your situation with Olivia. Like, I just wish that you would move better. Because this does not make you look good at all, Jasmine. It definitely hurts your image when you come on here and you said what you said about what Olivia was doing, and then you turn around and you ask people for money only to turn around and try to compare your situation with Olivia's situation. It's not a good look. I don't know how else to say that. It's not a good look, Jasmine. Now, as far as your credit goes, you have been saying for years that your credit is bad. It does not take a long time, Jasmine, to fix your credit. You're 33 years old. This has to be the year. There's still, we're in the September, so we got, 3 more months of this year before this year closes. Now is the best time you can get a handle of your credit. My advice to you, pull your credit from all 3 credit bureaus. You get to do that free once a year. They will not charge you to do that. You need to pull your credit from TransUnion, Equifax, and from Experian. Once you pull your credit and you see what's on your credit, if there is a small amount that can be paid to get it off your credit, go ahead and just pay it. Just pay it. Get it off. The bigger amounts that you have on your credit, you need to contact those companies, dispute it. Sometimes when you dispute whatever's on your credit, they will either wipe it completely off or they will work out a payment arrangement with you. Either way, Jasmine, you are getting too old to have this situation because you can't keep doing this. You cannot keep paying 2, 3 deposits just so you can live in a decent place. You have got to get your credit together. And the only person that is going to be able to do this is you. So I would think you would be tired of struggling at this point. You don't have to struggle for your whole life. You don't have to be trying to figure out how to do this and that in the same capacity that you've been doing up until this point. It can actually get better, Jasmine. But you have to think smarter. You have to move wiser. And I'm telling you, the only way you're going to some way be able to come up for air is you got to get your credit together. You got to start managing your money better, and you got to get your credit together. You should have a savings. Whatever amount of bills you pay out in a month, you need to multiply that times 3. And that is what should be in your savings account. And you getting a tax refund check at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year, you qualify for earned income credit. That's 5 kids. Now, I don't know how you and Philip do the whole income tax thing, but that is enough money for you to, get somewhat of a cushion under you. So that's why I completely agree with the person who said what they said about your tax money should be going into your savings. Not you coming on the camera balling out of control because you got your tax money. You got to think smart, Jasmine. You have got to get ahead for a change. Because things happen unexpectedly. You've been in so many situations where things have happened unexpectedly. That's life. But a savings is what prepares you for the unexpected. Now, when I say, whatever your monthly bills are, multiply that times 3, and that should be in your savings, that's just minimum. You can always put more in your savings. Like, that is what you want to do. There should be no limits to how much money you contribute to your savings account, because that is what's going to help you not have to stress so much. So, please consider what I'm saying to you, because I'm really trying to help you, Jasmine. Since I've been doing commentary, a little over a year now, I've given away $500 total. I'm giving back. I'm not asking nobody to give to me. And I give because that's what I enjoy doing. I give because I know that people really do have a need. And although I may be in a position to give and to help people financially, does not mean that I want to be taken advantage of. And so I speak the way that I do because I understand that there are other people that feel the way I feel. People naturally want to give and they naturally want to help, but they don't want to feel as if they're being taken advantage of either. And so I say all of this to say that just because you're in a position to ask, that does not mean you have to do that. So with all that being said, you guys, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to see y'all in the next video. It's OneLove, and I'm out.